Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Monmouth County. My name is Liz Tortorella, and my pronouns are she and her. I serve on the worship committee, and Allison and I on the worship committee, and Jennifer on the music committee have worked with our four writers and our wonderful pianist this morning, Dan Kader. And we look forward to hearing the selections our writers are going to share. Whoever you are, whomever you love, however you arrived at this beloved place, you are welcome here. Our mission is to create community, transform ourselves, and transform the world. This morning we welcome guest speakers and a guest pianist. We welcome UUCMC writers Binaco, Suzanne Bless, Allison Mitchell, and Jane Reskof, and our guest pianist Dan Kader. And Dan is a graduate of the University of Miami Jazz Program, and he also has an MBA from Fordham University. He has won several awards throughout his career and has performed both solo and with different artists. He's excited and honored to be here, and Dan, we love having you. I have to say, Dan's really become a friend. I draw your attention to the back side of your orders of service for announcements and service information for next week. For those on the live stream and for video viewers, the order of service link is available to you in the YouTube service description box. After the service, refreshments will be served in the community room, and people of all ages are welcome to visit one another. If you are new to us, please feel free to join us at the welcome table with the red tablecloth. We look forward to getting to know you better. And I'll tell you, we brought some extra snacks, so be sure you come to coffee hour. Also, please check our website, UUCMC, where you can, UUCMC.org, where you can sign up to get the latest news of the congregation by email. Please put your devices on silent as we enter into worship together, welcoming into this place of love and hope. And Pat Hoppy has an announcement.
Hi, many of you, I'm Pat Hoppy, she and her. Many of you remember the circle dinners that we started 2 years ago, and they predate 2 years ago by about 50 years. So many of you have been doing circle dinners for a long time. If you haven't been, it's a fun night once a month. If you and your group choose to do once a month, and you can go either to a restaurant or you can have your dinner or your lunch at a person's house that's in your group. It's a really fun way to get to know people in the congregation that might be new or you haven't met before. All of us have interesting stories in our lives, and I have been so blessed by the circle dinners to meet new friends and reacquaint myself with folks I've met here. So if you didn't get one of these sign-up sheets, you can look at the back of your order of service. I think they printed a blurb about circle dinners, and you can either tear off this information sheet and give it to me, or you can email me with this information. I put the groups together, so you don't know who's gonna be there until you get your email from me telling me who's in your group. It's really fun. I hope you choose to participate. I look forward to meeting new friends. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Dan. What a great way to start our day. Beautiful. Good morning. For our call to worship today, may we consider the entreaty of UU minister William F. Schultz, activist and author, also known for his many years as executive director of Amnesty International. Come into this place of peace and let its silence heal your spirit. Come into this place of memory and let its history warm your soul. Come into this place of prophecy and power and let its vision change your heart. For our chalice lighting today, I'm asking Steve Rastetter to put away his phone. And please come up to light the flame of sharing, the flame of ongoing life. As we light our chalice, may we consider these words of Albert Schweitzer, Nobel Peace Prize winner, medical missionary, humanitarian, and philosopher. At times, our own light goes out and is rekindled by a spark from another person. Each of us has cause to think with deep gratitude of those who have lit the flame within us. Thank you, Steve. Please rise in body and or spirit and join in singing hymn number 346 in the gray hymnal, Come Sing a Song with Me.
Our story wisdom today is from a darling book published in 1960 by Joan Walsh Angland. She also did the illustrations. Love is a special way of feeling. It is the safe way we feel when we sit on our mother's lap with her arms around us tight and close. It is the good way we feel when we talk to someone and they want to listen and they don't tell us to go away and be quiet. It is the happy way we feel when we save a bird that has been hurt, or feed a lost cat, or calm a frightened colt. Love is found in unexpected places. It is there in the quiet moment when we first discover a beautiful thing, when we watch a bird soar high against a pale blue sky, when we see a lovely flower that no one else has noticed, when we find a place that shelters us and is all our very own. Love starts in little ways. It may begin the day we share our thoughts with someone else, or help someone who needs us. Or sometimes it begins because even without words, we understand how someone feels. Love comes quietly, but you know when it's there, because suddenly you are not alone anymore, and there is no sadness inside you. Love is a happy feeling that stays inside your heart for the rest of your life. And now let us sing Go Now in Peace to bless our children.
Good morning. I am here to share with you how I met the writers group and my gratitude to them. I fell in love with writing the moment I learned the meaning of words. Ever since, I have used it to set my emotions free whenever they ran so high that they needed an outlet. Because English is not my mother tongue or her first language, I was always afraid to share my words. What if my grammar was broken? What if my sentences were crooked? Then, the dear Anita Link was kind enough to introduce me to Allison, Kristine, and Jane group. They welcomed me with open arms, warm hearts, and big smiles. They invited me to shed my fear and trust them with my most intimate thoughts. In their presence, I saw how these artists use their words to paint beautiful pictures and then bring it to life. I joined them and our souls connected. I came to them seeking ears to listen, but instead I found generous, kind, and beautiful people willing to accept me into their sacred sanctuary. We started by exchanging words, and those words became the seeds for a precious, growing garden of friendship. We meet on the third Friday of each month, currently only on Zoom, hoping to be in person sometimes. After sharing our pieces and exchanging our points of view, we brainstorm what to write next. Please raise in body and spirit as you can, and we will be singing together hymn 1014, only verses 1 and 3.
I think that's going to come a little later. That's okay, no problem. No problem. We're going to do that a little bit later. Thanks, Dan.
I'm sorry.
No worries. Good morning, everyone. I'm Jane Reskof. I'm going to tell you a little story once I put my oxygen on the floor so it doesn't fall. There we go. She gazed out the New York City apartment window, her young eyes filled with wonder and anticipation, waiting and hoping for even just a glance of him, her love, her Egyptian-born, ever so handsome, Marek. She pulled back the sheer panel curtain just slightly, lest he might see her there in the window. As she gingerly peeked out the clear glass window that her mother had just washed only the day before with vinegar and water, looking out at the view in front of her, she saw the Empire State Building gleaming in the sunlight not so far away. Her eyes also lit upon the hustle and bustle of the city streets below, with cabbies doing their jigsaw driving through the morning traffic. The Bohemians, walking their dogs, were there too, looking like they had just rolled out of bed, thrown their shoes on, and got on with the duty of exercising Fido, Willow, and Spot. All the while, her heart was pounding, thump, 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 like the beating of drums in a marching band during a 4th of July holiday parade. The pounding heart, of course, had to do with the expectation that Marek might come out of his two doors down apartment building. Word had it that his countess mother and prince father sent Marek and his brother to a school farther down in Greenwich Village, where I grew up. Yes, they were a royal family back in Egypt, but here in New York City, they were just a somewhat exotic, eccentric, and aloof family, but ever so alluring to her. Her mother came in the room then and broke the reverie. Being brought back to reality, she took a shiny quarter from her mother's hand with the instructions, "Go to Joe's on the corner and get a quart of milk for breakfast." So off she went on her errand, but starry-eyed still. She walked to Joe's carefully so as not to step on a crack to break her mother's back. So Joe gave his unusual good morning peanuts greeting to her, to which she smiled in appreciation at the term of endearment. Joe was her pal, and he did not let her down this morning as he gave her a row of colored candy buttons for her to gobble up as a pre-breakfast treat. Just then, as she was walking past his apartment building, which was lavender colored and so unusual, he came out himself, their eyes locked in a riveting stare. He approached her. She froze right there, her feet like cement blocks, unable to move an inch. She couldn't help but notice the olive skin, thick brown glossy hair, baby blue eyes, and a pepsodent smile that went from ear to ear. Oh, he was so good looking. He came closer to her, and in the flick of a minute, bent down and kissed her cheek. It felt warm and chilly at the same time. No words were spoken between them,
just that knowing look, conveying they were in love. It was love, all right, as sure as Howdy Doody and Princess Summer, Fall, Winter, Spring came on her new family TV. She alighted toward home with the formerly cemented feet now light as feathers, and she glided, no, flew home to the mundane chores of life in the city. But nothing would ever be as usual for her again, for she now knew that her love was requited. The ever-repeating thought ran through her mind, he loves me too. He was and always will be her Marek, her first love, her first kiss, with special feelings that will last not only for that day, but for the rest of her life. Thank you. And now Suzanne has a reflection for you.
I labeled my piece The Magic of Love. My conception of love used to be, it is that beautiful blue light bursting out of each cell of our existence, illuminating every dark corner and transforming normal objects into something magical. I saw it as a cool waterfall that starts in the sky and flows to earth, washing away all pollution and restoring everything it touches to its original state of purity and innocence. But reading Bruce Lipton's The Honeymoon Effect taught me that love is also an invisible spark. It alters our chemical transmitters, healing us and unlocking our body's true potentials. The moment we embrace love, our brains flood with dopamine and oxytocin, instantly silencing our stress hormones and bathing our very cells in a vibrant, life-loving chemistry. He showed me that the state of emotional bliss fundamentally alters our genetic expression, providing that our intention can rewrite our biology from inside out. Love is the song that takes us from earth to heaven. It is the storm that drove painters like Monet and Van Gogh to breathe nature into blank canvas. It draws stargazers from their beds to lie on the ground for hours. A shared passion where social ranking dissolve, and beneath the stars, the king and the homeless are equal. When you read Sufi poet Rumi, you feel that soul-stirring devotion rushing through your own veins. It is the same force that allows a surfer to unite with a wave and seduce a mother into becoming a superwoman, willing sacrificing sleep, career, and even her own identity to build up her child. No one truly knows if love is chemistry, energy, or magic. It is as mysterious as the divine. That's why so many choose to believe that God is love. But who possesses this extraordinary gift? Perhaps every living being does. You see it in the tiny bird tirelessly building its nest, the elephant grieving the loss of a companion, the loyal dog waiting patiently for its master's return, the child reaching for a mother's embrace. They all seem to be responding to the exact same invisible force. Maybe love is the very language of life itself, older than words, older than thoughts, older even than humanity itself. It is written into every heartbeat. It's whispered through every act of care or kindness. We do not manufacture love. We awaken to it. It has always been there, waiting patiently beneath our fear, our ambition, and our illusion of separation. But does love belong only to creature who has hearts and brains? Science tells us plants communicate, cooperate, and warn one another of danger. They nurture their offsprings in ways we are only beginning to understand. Whether these acts rise from conscious choice or an exquisitely evolved biology remain an open question. Yet, watching a forest share nutrition through its underground fungal network, or a vine patiently reaching toward the light, I cannot help but wonder, does love wear disguise we have not yet learned to see? Then, I watched a documentary trilogy on regenerative agriculture. Films like Kiss the Ground, Common Ground, and Groundswell. It was an eye-opening experience for me that took my conception of love to a completely new level. It taught me about a form of love I have never considered. I thought of love as something exchanged only between people, pets, or perhaps even between humanity and nature. I have never imagined extending my gratitude and my love and respect to the billions of invisible organisms that quietly sustain life itself. The truth blew my mind. A single handful of healthy soil contains more living organisms than there are people on Earth. They ask for absolutely nothing, yet they give us everything. The soil under our feet is not an inert substance. It is living, breathing community. It resists erosion, captures rain, stores carbon. It patiently nurtures the roots that feed every forest, every meadow, and every farm. Even after years of human abuse, healthy soil maintains an astonishing capacity to regenerate if we simply choose to work with nature rather than against it. Looking deeper, science reveals an identical hidden world right inside my own body. Trillions of microorganisms inhabit our intestine. They manufacture our vitamins, help digest our food. They even educate our immune system, communicating constantly with our brain through the gut-brain axis. Think about that. These unseen companions help shape not only our physical health, but our actual moods and well-being. They ask for no recognition. They simply continue their faithful work day and night. When I contemplate these invisible communities, a wave of profound gratitude wells up within me. I cannot help but feel deep love for these tiny partners in life. Their quiet devotion is the only reason my own existence is even possible. I now realize that love grows as knowledge grows. the more deeply we understand the intricate web that support us, the more impossible it becomes not to love it. Thank you. Nobody can deny I made you rehearse the hymn 1014, right? Everybody rehearsed that earlier. So now it's for real. Please stand in person or in spirit, if you can, to join in hymn 1014, verses 1 and 3.
Every week in this congregation, we are provided with an opportunity to practice generosity. This is your invitation to contribute to the well-being of our congregation. For those of you in the Earth Room, the place will be passed by the ushers. Online, a link to our giving page is located in the service description box. You may join this time of generosity via text, send your offering by mail, or charge your contribution online with the memo designating an amount to UUCMC. Please give generously.
My piece is entitled The Evolution of Love. The expression ontogeny recapitulates phylogeny, a phrase coined by Ernst Haeckel, a 19th century German biologist, was taught to me by a good friend years ago while we were discussing how the growth of a human fetus echoes the evolutionary stages of the human species. Ontogeny is the development of an individual from a germ cell. Phylogeny is the descent of a species from a common ancestor. I had known this concept, but not the pithy phrase of Haeckel's. Whether there exists a similar phrase for our psychological development, I don't know. Yet consider this. If in the deep recesses of our consciousness we possess a special memory, perhaps we would access our pre-human times by deep meditation, or that may be only a romantic wish of novelists and anthropologists. But by traveling right now in our imaginations, we can envision those hirsute hominids banding together for security and the sharing of resources. Picture Lucy, the Australopithecus afarensis, discovered in 1974, with her comrades, their excited vocalizations hooting through the trees as a predator draws near, warning each other of a threat, sounding the alarm to grab the little ones and climb to safety in the canopy. Their lifeways presaged the behavior of primates today, with favorite aunties helping to look after the young. Picture how the push and pull of reproductive rights, in this case, the right of an alpha male to mate with any and all females, balanced with their desire to belong to a primate community. A community that each member could count upon to hunt together and to share food in times of scarcity. A group that would circle round, make themselves appear larger by using their newly developed bipedalism to assume an upright stance, and together bare their teeth to psych out an early ancestor of leopards, perhaps. This same bipedalism made it possible for them to carry their young face to face, not just upon their backs, and therefore creating a new intimacy between parent and child. At what point did their care for each other become more than survival instinct? Perhaps by the time of Homo habilis, the toolmaker, but most certainly by the era of Homo erectus, 1,000,000 years ago, they felt something akin to love. As our ancestors' consciousness grew, so did their potential for love. We've likely all seen videos of grieving chimpanzees. Nascent love is inherent in our biology, in our deep history. I can't hypothesize whether societies of bees, which certainly communicate, have emotions, but in our neck of the biological woods, there is a long history of mutual caring. Now on to the evolution of love in the life of an individual Homo sapiens. As it did for our predecessors, marriage or partnership between modern humans comprises sexual and reproductive drives, elements of belonging, security, and economic benefits. As infants and young children, if we are lucky to have not been born into a dysfunctional family, we find nutrition, safety, and affection with our family. This quickly becomes heart-burstingly deep mutual love. The child depends on her parents, and the parents' joy or despair rises and falls with the child's happiness and health. For the children's part, the very young idolize their parents, and most don't conceptualize their parents as adults who have lives outside of parenting until perhaps their preteen years. As a child enters adolescence and the drive for her to establish an individual identity separate from her relatives takes precedence in the forefront of her mind, Her affinity for family may resemble a slinky toy, with closeness and rifts alternating as the young person navigates experiences in her society of peers. The sense of familial love remains constant, but the relationship mechanics change. The bittersweet goal of parenting for our distant ancestors and for us is to make one's offspring independent. We half mourn when the little one's baby speech matures, when their baby giggles morph into childhood laughter and then into adult chuckles. We take pride in the accomplishments that reflect growth, learning the alphabet, buttoning shirts, reading, and managing the schoolwork that will lead them into their adult careers. Parents strive to maintain close ties with these grown offspring for ongoing mutual support and love. Falling in love is that magical, desperately unrelenting, all-encompassing feeling of needing another person so much that without them one would perish. This sensation is the beginning of the formation of a new family unit. There may be false starts and dead ends, but it is the primal focus that grabs us all and changes our individual lives. Love rides along with us on this journey. It is a resilient force whose only proof of existence is in its effect, its ability to enhance our lives. Love is unconditional at its best. It can often bear emotional wounds, and its devotion survives the painful separation of bodily death. Learning to love in the macro view of deep history has borne fruit in our current individual lives. Our cultures and societies function at their peaks when love is part of those value systems. When we take the love developed in our individual lives and share it with our larger society, everyone benefits. Love, fundamental to our successful evolution as a contemplative species, remains a vital element in our individual and societal lives.
Thank you, Kristine. I am Allison Mitchell. My pronouns are she and hers. And my piece is how to make a heart. Start with a piece of red construction paper, fold it in half, move your pencil down to a little bit above the middle of the left side, draw up and out in an arc to the right side of the paper, then bring it back down about 45-degree angle to the bottom corner, a few inches below where you started, depending on the size and shape of your heart. Cut out the shape, which looks kind of like an elephant's ear. Unfold, write a message of love to someone you care about, even yourself. Put it in an envelope and mail it. If it's staying with you, get a refrigerator magnet or tape it on a mirror where you or someone you love will see it. As I remember it, as kids, this was the first arts and craft instruction we received. Before that, we were busy putting crayon to paper, trying to draw who and what we knew and loved in our worlds. Our family, cherished pet, favorite flower, colorful mushrooms, chirping birds, towering trees. We each had a different idea of how to convey those images, what colors, shapes, and sizes, but making a heart, that came with precise instructions. And what a challenge to get it right. I had more lopsided hearts than I could have imagined. What was wrong with me? Whenever I got it just right, it was a special sort of pride, a magical thrill, a gift of grace more than talent, more craft than art. Since then, it has not been lost on me that the making of an actual heart takes more in the realm of creation. It requires time, patience, and creativity. Over the years came development of both the craft and artistry of that red construction paper heart, Some became very fancy in their expressions of love: lace doilies, satin ribbons, cute stickers, even sparkly red glitter like Dorothy's ruby slippers. Some need to be expressed quickly and can remain straight up, simple, direct, a quick heart drawn beside a written "I love you," and well, that is certainly none the less for its simplicity. From the very start, we composed valentines to all who made up our worlds. It was a challenge learning how to convey special words of love. Roses are red, violets are blue, and we live on to find it takes a lifetime of experience to convey the kaleidoscope of feelings to all those we love in our ever-developing hearts. It also took years to understand what the red construction paper heart actually represented. The two arching lobes for the two heart chambers. We learned of the blood rushing in, blood rushing out, pumping throughout whole bodies, pushing, sustaining nutrients, healing blood cells, essential oxygen, everything pushing along mostly without us being aware, keeping us going, asleep or awake, loving us. Then we found as we grew that there could be a strange beating in our chests, pulsing faster at the thought of someone we were interested in romantically, or in caring for cherished members of our families or circles of friends, or even a stranger struggling in the world, all of whom we came to care about deeply, so much so that the thought of any harm coming to them could bring us not only to tears, but actually, in the most extreme, break or even stop our hearts. How did the heart, this very center of our being, come to represent all things love? Familial, romantic, worldly, spiritual. It may be a simple answer that without a beating heart, we physically stop. And on the complex, interconnected scale, without a loving heart, we as a people stop. John Lennon wrote, "Love is all there is." And my dearest father told us when he considered what is God, his answer was always, God is love. To feel love for another being is transcendent. Family, pet, flower, mushroom, bird, tree. Love is the beauty of life, the motivation behind all the good that we have ever done or that has ever been done for us. So, back to that first art craft project, the red construction paper heart. Why is it shaped like an ear when we first draw it? Elephant ear? So we listen to our hearts. Two lobes beating together, like Dorothy's red ruby slippers clicking together. There's no place like home, where everyone and everything she loved was waiting. The lion needed courage to listen to his heart, to be willing to lay down his life for those he loved. The scarecrow needed a brain to understand that the loyalty of love, caring for friends, were his highest purpose in life. The Tin Man needed a heart, only to find out the tears that are the bargain when we must let go of those whom we love. When Dorothy searched for her way home, facing both the spectacular marvels and lost confusion on life's path with curiosity, while not letting fears of the unknown and frightening challenges stop her path down the yellow brick road, standing up to that evil witch and self-serving power of the wizard, she discovered her own power, that the love for her friends and Toto and Annie M kept her brave. She finally woke up to find out she'd never actually left home, that love had always been right there with her, just waiting for her return. Her miraculous travel companions were her family in different forms. When we are together, body or in spirit, on this incredible journey of growing up and discovery of what makes it all tick, when we return to the space of grateful love for all that is good in this world, we are home. Home is where the heart is. May we never run out of red construction paper and a bit of glitter.
following is a meditation, excuse me, by Marcus Aurelius. When we arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. As we accept the things to which fate binds us and love the people with whom fate brings us together, may we do so with all our hearts. Let us take a moment of silence now as we enter into the circle of community where we bring our joys and sorrows each week. May all of these joys and sorrows, along with those unspoken, know the kindness that is possible within this circle and beyond. Amen. It turned out to be rather serendipitous that I would be announcing this last hymn. I will tell you why that is. When my husband David and I set about renewing our marriage vows at the time of our 30th wedding anniversary, we wanted to play a special song. We chose the next hymn because it not only addresses the fact that marriage, or any loving relationship, involves the good times and the bad times too, and will let the sun shine, let it rain, share the laughter, bear the pain. Thus was our experience of then 30 years together. Please rise as you are willing and able to sing Let It Be a Dance, hymn number 311 in the gray hymnal.
May we indeed keep love at the center of our lives. May we treat everyone we meet as an extension of ourselves, remembering that we are all one. We are each fragments of the divine source, here to be co-creators of a more loving world. Let us go in peace to bless the world.